Okay, let's get going. So, previous meeting we discussed the LTS plan review, NPM LTS, and V8 LTS. And this week we only have, I believe, one thing on the agenda, which is the OpenSSL LTS support end. Is there anything else that anyone wants to add to the agenda for this meeting?
We'll just make a quick note of open PRs against joint nodes for 12 and 10. It's actually a fairly small number. So maybe go do a little concerted effort into closing those out. Don't need to talk about it too much, but I encourage folks to go out and take a look. There's only 23 open against the 0.10, and there are 36 open against 12. So,
36 was it, sorry?
yeah, 36.
Okay, let's dive into that then while we've got it. So, what sort of issues are we talking about here? That like, let's look at 0.10, the 23 for 0.10. Are they the kinds of things that we should be considering for LTS?
No, considering 10 is in considered maintenance. Most of them, I mean, there's some doc fixes. There's one having to do with chunk length calculation. Which I know it's been fixed quickly controlled in mastery. Parent tracking on domains. Another one for chunk encoding. I mean, it's nothing that really stands out as being critical. The only one is that the only one I would say that is definitely need to get done is that the deprecation of the RC4 still hasn't landed yet in 10, which I'm going to be working with Julian on this week to get this on that close. That's the only one I would say that we actually have to do. Okay. Other than that, I don't know. Trevor, do you have any other thoughts on any of those? On the mini series?
Not at the moment.
So, are they the kinds of PRs that we can say, like, are they still applicable to master now, or are they really only applicable to that code base?
For these, they're for the 23 here that are open against V10. It's really only applicable to that. It wouldn't make sense necessarily to move them over to master, even if we. Some of them might, still need some additional work, maybe some test cases, some additional stuff that needs to be resolved. So they're not even necessarily ready to land.
Okay, so what do you have any suggestions on how we move forward with them?
Just encouraging folks to take a look. Like I said, I'm going to be closing on the RC4 one this week. The rest of them should really just be, if folks have time for it, if they think it's a priority, then work on them. If not, I wouldn't really prioritize them too much.
And are the 0.12 ones of similar nature?
0.12, there's 36 for these. Looking at them now. Yeah, I mean, unless, Trevor, Michael, I mean, you guys might have a different opinion on some of the ones for 12, on which ones you find. I mean, they seem, there's more actual bug fixes here than should resolve.
Yeah, I guess it's like if we 10 is pretty much in maintenance. The other one would be equivalent to LTS. So it's like, are those things we would fix in the active LTS cycle? And if so, they should probably be given more chance than that they would be in 10 for sure.
Let me look at this. Let me filter out the docs ones. There are only 18 open on 12 that don't relate to docs. So.
Because on the ones in 10, is anybody screaming for those, or
No, other than the RC.
Yeah, so for the RC4 one, I'd say yes, we should do that. The other ones, I'd be tempted to just say, they're not going to be fixed in 10 because it's in maintenance. And either move them to 12 or master as appropriate.
Yeah.
The 12 ones, I think we've got 12 is not so old yet and we don't have the next release out, that we should be still considering things that impact people, right? And I guess it's more is leaving them there until either somebody does them or we do have a new release that we might move them to instead.
So, Michael, what are you suggesting? You're suggesting we close them or just let them? We don't have anything to prioritize here.
Well, on the ones on 10, so for 10, I would say we either try to close them if they don't apply to 12 or master, or move them forward to 12 or master as appropriate. The ones in 12, I might just say we just leave there, and once the new release is out, we still have some amount of time. Like, I forget exactly when we said the LTS would finish on 12, right?
Yeah, that's We're looking. LTS on 12 is a special case where it would end next October, so we have a full year.
Right. So I guess I'm thinking that things that when we move something into maintenance, it should basically be, if you open an issue, unless there's some real reason, like it's a security issue or whatever, or there's some reason we think isn't important enough, it's like, well, okay, that'll be fixed, but in a later release. The later release being the current LTSs, or if it's like a feature request or something we really don't think is too risky, we think is too risky for an LTS, then in master. So I guess, to answer your question, I'd say for 10, let's try and move them or close them, and for 12, let's leave them as they are and
try to get them closed as soon as.
Yeah, and close them, as people have time to work on them. Unless we look at them and say, well, they really shouldn't be done in LTS at all, right?
Right. I don't think any of them, none of them have any kind of API change or even really additive. Some of them are performance. Some of them have to do with consolidating tests. One of them is contextify, share security token with debug context, that kind of thing. There's nothing real pressing in here. Again, other than the RC4 changes. So.
Right.
Yeah,
yeah.
You go ahead.
They're just the kind of issues that you can't close because they are legitimate. They're just not the kind of issues that you really want to embrace for maintenance mode.
Right.
Right. And if it's, I guess it's whether or even if it's LTS, then we should just move them forward to master and say we're going to fix these in master as opposed to any of the other branches.
Like there's one here talking about refactoring normalized array to improve performance. It looks like a good change, but do we really care about doing that in LTS at this point? Like this, that effort.
Yeah, that strikes me as a master thing. Like actually, maybe they should all be against master, and then if they're in and somebody really thinks they need to be in the LTS, they can be backported, right?
Yeah.
Because unless there's a good reason to be in LTS, we probably want. My first thought would be you want to limit what goes in there. So James, after your look at 10 and 12, do you think other than the RC4, are there any that we shouldn't just move and say these will be fixed in master?
I'm just scanning right now.
Okay.
The performance one we could move to master. Validating crypto domain tests, I don't. It's probably just not one we need to do here. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing real critical here.
I guess that would be my suggestion then. Let's move them there.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Does that seem like the right general policy to everybody?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with just leaving these open and leaving them here. If folks get to them, then great. If not, the PR list is cleaned up to a point now where it's actually manageable. So it doesn't really add much extra noise to keep these open for now. So I'd say let's just leave them, and if folks get to them, then great. If not, eventually we will.
Okay. Maybe I was just thinking that it might be worthwhile posting an issue to the new repo with links, like a catalog of each of these groups, with links to them.
Just to get some more attention on it.
Yeah, to let people know that these things are there if they have time to shepherd them into master or 0.12 or wherever they belong. Yeah, okay, let's move on to OpenSSL. So Shieki said that I think Shieki, the big outstanding thing here is that OpenSSL support is going to end before our end of 0.10 maintenance. That's the main thing I took from your issue. Is that right?
The main is 0.12. 0.12 is LTS will be ending.
0.12.
Yeah, is 2017 April 1st, but the OpenSSL 1.1 will support in the 2016 December 31st. It's 3 months earlier. So I think that the current LTS plan for the Node 0.12 has 3 months blank for the no support for the OpenSSL.
So Shieki listed a couple of options in issue 31. Wait, let me link you in the chat. Either to change the date of our support to match OpenSSL, upgrade OpenSSL to 1.0.2, which is API and ABI compatible, although there are internal changes that may have ramifications. Or of course we can just say, hey, there's a 3-month support gap, yeah, we'll live with it.
Yeah, I agree, but that is upgrading is based on the great big change of the build system. I think it has a risk for to changing of so large in for the 0.12 only for the 3 months. The easiest is to change the LTS support is Node 0.12 to the the same end of the OpenSSL of 12, 16, December 31st is a very easy case.
It's true. Or yeah, because otherwise we are stuck with wearing the burden of that. So that would bring 0.12 to end maintenance 3 months after 0.10 ends maintenance. 3 months?
Yes, 3 months. But we have only 2 months for the LTSN on the Node 10. Node 10 will be end LTSN in the October, and the end of December, the Node 12 will be end. So I wonder that the people is very close to between the two release.
So, does anyone have opinions?
12 is the only one affected by this, right?
Yep.
That's right.
Okay.
And the 112 will be ended 12/19th, but it depends on the release of the next of the 1.1 release. It's not determined, but it is expected to release at the end of this year. So we will be affected of the next release 2 years after of the release of the node. I'm not sure the version, but it's a future issues. It's not determined yet.
You mean if we don't upgrade away from 1.0.2?
Yeah, about 2 for more than 2 years, so that release will be affected is the same situation of the Node 012.
Right, yep, understood.
So we have to keep on top of it.
Yeah, I mean, Michael, you might have some other thoughts on it, but I mean, I'd be inclined to be okay with that, with shortening the V12 active maintenance or active LTS, moving it into maintenance faster to line up. The LTS on 12 is a special case anyway, but I don't think that's too much of a problem.
I guess we're not proposing 0.12 as an upgrade path for anyone here. Like it's that ship has sailed. You shouldn't be moving from 0.10 to 0.12. You should be moving from either 0.10 to 4 or 0.12 to 4. That's the upgrade path. So let's not pretend that it's a legitimate path. I think I'd be +1 for shortening either the LTS or the maintenance.
I was on mute. My question was: is it shortening the maintenance part of the cycle or the LTS part of the cycle?
Yeah, the active LTS.
Right.
Maintenance.
So it means we still have it in maintenance for 12 months after that.
Yeah. So we still end up having a problem of if anything real critical comes up, we have to figure out how to handle it. But it doesn't eliminate the problem entirely. But
yeah, no, I mean, I think in that context, shortening the LTS cycle is fine, but it only solves part of the problem, right?
Well, if something truly critical comes up, upgrading to 1.0.2 is always an option.
Right.
Right.
Well, the other problem is that we're not necessarily going to know if something really critical comes up. Like, we're going to have to do the hard work of figuring out whether 101 is affected by anything new.
I mean, unfortunately, there's really not going to be anything we can do about it either way. So we're going to have that problem no matter what with the current LTS cycle the way it is. So, okay.
Well, hang on. So if we're shortening active LTS for 0.12 to just span the period of basically now until the end of December this year, then maintenance is only for 12 months after that. Then we coincide with the OpenSSL end as well. So we shouldn't have any problems with that.
No, the 12 LTS would be currently scheduled to end 2017 April. This would shorten the active LTS to 2016. So it's the 12 would be an active LTS for another year past.
Well, no, because so OpenSSL's support for 101 ends at the end of next year.
Yeah.
And we have proposed that 0.12 is in maintenance until the end of until April 2017. Well, end of March. So that's the 3 months there. So what we're suggesting here is chopping off that end there. So we get to coincide. Our maintenance end for 0.12 ends with.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. So that was my question. If chopping off that 3 months keeps us in line with the OpenSSL, I guess I'm +1 as well for chopping it off because I think it's a consistent story to say, well, it's going to end there, and it's only 3 months, right? So doing it for 3 months longer may cause us grief, and I don't really think it solves anybody's problem who's using it now anyway, right? Because they'll have the same problem 3 months later.
Okay, does anyone have any dissenting opinions to shortening the LTS period so that our maintenance ends at the end of 2016? Okay, so 0.12 LTS will end at the end of this year, and then 0.12 maintenance will end at the end of next year.
Okay. All right. The current schedule shows 12 active LTS ending April 2016. So are we shortening that to the end of this year, or keeping that and just shortening the maintenance schedule to the end?
Yeah, I'm not sure I care either way, but because I don't think we've clearly defined exactly what the difference between the two is. We're almost in a maintenance mode for 12 anyway.
Well, anyway, yeah. We'll just say it's a fuzzy boundary. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, we've got to figure out how to communicate that then. We'll change the README, and then maybe we'll open an issue on the Node repo and make it. Just get the word out.
By the way, Shijeki, thank you for pointing that issue out.
Yeah, you're welcome. But I should be to write down this video more earlier because it is open for several months ago.
Yeah, it's okay. We've not been on top of this on top of LTS stuff for a few weeks now, so it's all right. Okay, and then the other action item coming out of this is just to jump on OpenSSL 1.1 as soon as it comes out, just so that our next LTS has that. I think that's the other important thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, all good. Anything else anyone wants to discuss? Nope. Okay. James, can I give you the action item to update the README with the new 012 schedule?
Yep, no problem.
Okay. Well, let's schedule another one. Should we schedule another meeting for next week, or should we skip a week? Let's maybe go to 2 weeks.
Can we make it 2 weeks?
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, 2 weeks is good.
Okay. Let's talk in 2 weeks then. I'll
Yeah,
figure
okay,
out-
I will, oh no, that's good. I think I'll be back from vacation then, so. Okay.
Just a quick question, are any of you going to be at NodeConf EU?
Not me.
Yes.
I'm going to be there.
Not me, but I might be at JSConf.
That one I won't be going to. So. Okay, I'm just trying to get a sense of how many folks are going to be there. If it makes sense to get everyone together. So. Okay, thanks.
Okay, cool. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Hi.